All right, let's get ready to dive deep into the world of physical fitness today.
Sounds good.
We're going to be talking all about what physical fitness actually is, why it's important, and how it can really make a difference in your life.
It should be a good one.
For this deep dive, we're going to be using information from Wikipedia's entry on physical fitness.
Oh yeah, that's a great resource.
It really is. We're going to break down some of the most interesting parts of it.
Okay, sounds fun.
So, have you ever wondered if working out could actually help your body, fight inflammation?
I don't know. Could it?
Or if there's a certain type of exercise that burns more calories, even if you've stopped working out?
You mean keeps working even when I'm done?
Exactly. And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Well, I'm all ears then.
We'll unpack all of that and more in this deep dive.
Let's do it.
Okay, first things first, how do we even define physical fitness these days?
Well, it's definitely changed over time,
I think most things have, right?
Totally. But anyway, these days it's less about just avoiding fatigue and more about being able to handle sports, work, and everyday activities without feeling completely wiped out.
Right, so it's less about being super strong and more about being functional and healthy.
Exactly. And also, building resilience against disease and stuff.
It's funny because I feel like before, fitness was almost seen as this hardcore thing.
Oh, for sure. Only for athletes.
Yeah. But now it's more about having the energy to play with your kids or just get through a busy day without feeling drained.
100%. It's for everyone now.
So thinking about how it's changed, I'm curious about what did people think fitness was before the Industrial Revolution?
Well, back then, it was pretty much all about just not getting exhausted,
Yeah, because life itself was like a workout.
Oh, totally. Work was physically demanding.
Right. But as technology came along, like you said, everything changed. We weren't doing as much physically demanding work.
Exactly. So fitness had to evolve too.
It had to become about more than just not collapsing from exhaustion, right?
Yeah, exactly. It became about achieving a higher level of physical capacity, being able to do more, push further.
And it wasn't just about strength or speed, right?
Yeah.
It expanded to include all these other aspects of health.
Right. It became about overall well-being, both physically and mentally.
So that brings us to this idea of the fitness triangle.
Oh, yes, the fitness triangle.
Which I always think of as a reminder that our physical, emotional, and mental well-being are all connected.
They really are, all intertwined.
You can't really have one without the others, can you?
Not really, no. And today, we're mostly focusing on the physical aspect of fitness.
Right, but it's good to keep in mind that big picture.
Totally.
So, okay, let's talk about something more practical.
Okay, sure.
How much activity should we actually be aiming for these days?
So the 2018 Physical Activity Guidelines for Americans say that adults should try to get at least 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity every week.
Okay, so that's 2.5 to 5 hours.
Yeah. Or if you're doing vigorous intensity, 75 to 150 minutes.
That's still over an hour a week.
Yeah, but the main thing is just to move more and sit less.
I feel like I've heard that a lot lately.
It's true, though. It's really the foundation.
Okay, but what about those of us with super busy schedules?
Well, the good news is you don't have to do those super long workouts to see benefits.
Really? So even short bursts of activity can count?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So that old saying that activity has to be done in 10-minute chunks to count is a myth.
Yeah, totally debunked.
That's good to know, because some days it's hard to even find 10 minutes to spare.
I hear that. But you can always sneak in, a quick walk or take the stairs instead of the elevator.
Little things like that really do add up, huh?
Oh, definitely.
It's all about finding ways to move more throughout the day.
Exactly. And it's not just the US saying this either. The UK guidelines also really emphasize regular physical activity.
So it's a global consensus then?
Pretty much, yeah. They all say that light activity alone just isn't enough. You gotta get your heart rate up and break a sweat for those real aerobic benefits.
Makes sense. So we know we need to move and get our hearts pumping, but there are different types of exercise, right? What are the main categories we should know about?
The two big ones are aerobic and anaerobic exercise.
Aerobic is all about getting your heart rate up, right?
Exactly. Think jogging, cycling, swimming, even that brisk walk we talked about. All of those get your heart rate going and increase how much oxygen you're taking in.
And that's what improves our cardiovascular fitness and stamina,
Yeah.
right? It's like that feeling of being energized and kind of alive after a good workout.
Yeah, totally. You feel it in your lungs and your heart.
I love that feeling.
Yeah.
But what about anaerobic exercise? How is that different?
So anaerobic exercise is more about those short bursts of really intense movements.
Okay, so like what kind of things are we talking about?
Think weightlifting, sprinting, interval training,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So it's not using oxygen in the same way, right?
Right, but it comes with its own awesome set of benefits.
Like what? I'm intrigued.
Well, anaerobic exercise is the key to building strength, endurance, speed, and power.
Those are pretty important, I'd say.
And here's the kicker. It actually boosts your metabolism even after you finish working out.
Wait, hold on. So I burn more calories even after a workout like that?
That's got it. It's pretty amazing, huh?
Yeah, so even when I'm back at my desk, I'm still like secretly burning calories.
Exactly. It's like turning your body into this calorie burning machine.
That's awesome.
And speaking of workouts that boost your metabolism, we should probably talk about HIIT, right?
Oh yeah, HIT. That seems to be all the rage these days.
It's super popular for a reason.
So tell me, what's the deal with HIT and why is it so effective?
Well, HIIT workouts are all about those short bursts of intense activity followed by quick rests or low intensity activity. So imagine you're sprinting all out for 30 seconds, then you walk for a minute and you just keep repeating that cycle.
Okay, so you're basically packing a really intense workout into a short amount of time.
Exactly. That's why it's so popular. People are busy.
That makes sense. But does it really work? Like, does the research back it up?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Studies show that HIIT leads to big improvements in heart health. It helps burn fat, especially that stubborn belly fat. And yeah, keeps your metabolism going strong even after you're done.
So it's like what we were talking about before. You're still burning calories even while going about your day.
Yep, pretty much. Like a bonus round of calorie burning.
Amazing. And how long do these HIIT workouts have to be?
The cool thing is that you can get a super effective workout in just 10 minutes.
Perfect for those days when I just can't squeeze in a full gym session.
Right. It's all about efficiency.
So we've talked about the immediate benefits of exercise, like burning calories and feeling energized, but I want to zoom out a bit.
Okay. Yeah.
What about the long-term impact? Those ripple effects that go beyond just what we see on the surface?
Oh, there are so many.
I bet. What are some of the most surprising ways that fitness can impact our health over time?
Well, let's start with blood pressure. When you exercise regularly, you're essentially giving your heart a workout, too.
So it's like I'm training my heart to be stronger.
Yeah, and more efficient. It gets better at pumping blood throughout your body.
So a stronger heart means better blood pressure regulation.
Exactly. And that lowers your risk of developing high blood pressure or other heart problems down the road.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
What about cancer? I always hear about the link between exercise and reduced cancer risk, but how does that actually work?
So the World Cancer Research Fund and the American Institute for Cancer Research, they recommend getting at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity exercise each week to lower your risk.
Okay, so basically the same guidelines we were talking about before.
Right. And while exercise can't totally eliminate the risk of cancer, it's a super important part of a preventative lifestyle.
It's like another tool in our arsenal, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got heart health, cancer prevention, what else? Are there any other surprising benefits you can share?
Let me think. Oh, here's one that might surprise you. Exercise actually helps reduce inflammation in the body.
Wait, really? Doesn't exercise cause inflammation? Like, I always feel sore after a workout. Isn't that inflammation?
Yeah, so there is an initial inflammatory response right after exercise, but what's really interesting is that it actually triggers a process that leads to long-term anti-inflammatory benefits.
So in a way, my body is learning to better regulate its inflammatory response through exercise.
That's a great way to put it. And that improved regulation is key because chronic inflammation is linked to all sorts of health problems, from heart disease to even some types of cancer.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. So exercise is helping my body fight inflammation in the long run.
Exactly.
What about my immune system? Does exercise impact that as well?
Oh, totally. Physical activity plays a huge role in boosting your immune system.
Like how so?
Well, it actually increases the production of immune cells and antibodies, which are the things that fight off infections.
So it's like giving my immune system a boost.
Yep. That's why people who exercise regularly tend to get sick less often.
Wow, I knew exercise was good for you, but I had no idea it had so many positive effects on the immune system. This is incredible. Now, we've talked about how exercise helps burn calories and build muscle, but what about its impact on weight control overall?
Well, exercise is a really powerful tool for weight management, and it's not just about burning calories during workout.
What else is going on?
It can actually help you target that dangerous visceral fat.
Wait, what's visceral fat?
It's the fat that's deep inside your belly, kind of surrounding your organs. It's the really dangerous kind, linked to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and other serious health issues.
Okay, so exercise can help with that.
Yes, especially aerobic exercise. Getting your heart rate up regularly is a key strategy for reducing visceral fat.
That's definitely a motivator to stay active.
It's important stuff. I'm also curious about any specific benefits for women going through menopause. Can exercise make a difference during that time?
That's a great question. I've heard it can, but I'm not sure exactly how.
Well, exercise can be a real game changer for women going through menopause. It helps with weight management, of course, but it also strengthens bones, which is super important during menopause because of bone loss.
Right, that makes sense.
And it lowers the risk of heart disease and type 2 diabetes, which are also concerns during menopause.
So it sounds like exercise is almost a must for women navigating the challenges of menopause.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Are there any other benefits specific to this stage of life?
There's some evidence that regular exercise can even help reduce those pesky hot flashes.
Really? That's great news. So we've talked a lot about the physical benefits of exercise, but I want to shift gears a bit and explore the impact on mental health. I know we touched on it earlier, but I'd love to dive a little deeper. What are some of the ways exercise can benefit our minds?
Mental health is such a crucial part of well-being, and exercise plays a huge role there. One reason is that it increases blood flow to the brain, which seems to have some pretty amazing effects on our mood and mental clarity.
I can definitely relate to that feeling of mental clarity after a good workout. It's like my brain fog just lifts.
Yeah, it's like a reset button for your brain.
Totally. And I feel more focused and energized afterward.
That's the power of those endorphins at work.
They're like little happy chemicals in our brain.
Exactly. And the research shows that exercise can be just as effective as medication in reducing symptoms of depression and anxiety.
Wow, that's incredible.
It really is. It makes you realize how much our physical and mental health are connected.
You can't really separate them, can you?
Nope. Exercise helps regulate those stress hormones, improves sleep quality, boosts self-esteem, and increases mental alertness. It's a win-win all around.
You get all these amazing physical benefits, plus you feel happier and more balanced mentally. I love how exercise is like this holistic approach to well-being.
It's the best.
Okay, now I'm curious about the historical side of things. When did this emphasis on physical fitness first emerge? Was it always this important to people?
It's actually really fascinating history. Back in the 1940s, there was this physician named Hans Kraus who did this really interesting study comparing the physical abilities of American and European children.
Interesting. What did he find?
Well, his findings were pretty shocking. American children were significantly less fit than their European peers.
Wow, really? That's surprising.
Yeah, and get this, it actually caught the attention of President Eisenhower, who then went on to create the President's Council on Youth Fitness.
So this research sparked a national movement toward improving fitness, especially for kids.
Exactly, it was a big deal.
It makes you wonder, where do we stand today in terms of fitness compared to other countries? I have no idea.
That's a good question. And if we go even further back in time, we see that physical fitness was extremely valued in ancient Greece. They considered it essential for both individual health and military strength.
Right, I remember learning about that. It's interesting how those ancient values are still relevant today. We still recognize the importance of physical activity for our overall well-being.
It's timeless, really.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about the modern definition of fitness, the different types of exercise, all the amazing health benefits, and even gotten a glimpse into the historical perspective.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has. But before we wrap up this deep dive into physical fitness, what are some of the key takeaways you want our listeners to walk away with?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that physical fitness is so much more than just hitting the gym or trying to look a certain way.
Right. It's really about creating a foundation for a healthier and more resilient life.
Exactly. And we've only just scratched the surface here, you know?
There's always more to learn, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. For example, we talked about how exercise increases blood flow to the brain.
Yeah.
But what does that really mean in the long term?
You mean beyond just feeling more alert and focused in the moment?
Yeah, does it actually improve our memory? Could it boost creativity? Maybe even protect against cognitive decline as we age?
Those are some big questions.
Right. There's so much more to explore when it comes to the brain-boosting benefits of exercise.
It's exciting to think about all the potential we haven't even tapped into yet.
For sure.
I feel like this deep dive has really opened my eyes to a whole new world of possibilities.
I hope so. That's the goal, right?
It is, but I think it's important to remember that it's not about becoming some kind of fitness fanatic overnight.
Oh, definitely not.
It's about finding what you enjoy and making those sustainable changes to your lifestyle.
Exactly. It's all about finding what works for you.
So maybe that's swapping the elevator for the stairs a few times a week.
Yeah.
Or go for a walk during your lunch break.
Little things can make a big difference.
It's about those small wins that add up over time.
Absolutely.
So to sum up this deep dive into physical fitness, I think the key message is this.
Okay.
It's more than just hitting the gym. It's a commitment to your overall well-being.
That's a great way to put it.
Whether you're aiming to manage your weight, prevent disease, boost your mood, or just have the energy to live each day to the fullest, incorporating regular exercise is one of the most powerful investments you can make in yourself.
Couldn't agree more. It's not a chore. It's a celebration of what our bodies can do.
I love that, a celebration of what our bodies can do.
You should all be celebrating more.
So what are you waiting for? Get out there, explore those possibilities, and discover the amazing things your body is capable of.
That's great advice.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of physical fitness.
It was fun.
We'll be back soon with another fascinating topic to help you live your best life. Until then, stay curious and keep moving.
Great job. It really has been a deep dive.
It has, but that's what we're here for, right?
Oh, absolutely. To go beyond those surface level explanations.
Exactly. And with physical fitness, there's just so much to uncover.
So much. And so much more research to be done, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like we were saying before, there are still so many unanswered questions about how exercise affects the brain in the long run.
Right. Like, we know it increases blood flow to the brain,
Yeah.
but what are the long-term implications of that?
It makes you think, what don't we know yet?
No, right? Like, does it actually enhance our memory? Does it make us more creative? Could it help protect us from cognitive decline as we age?
It's mind-blowing when you really think about it.
It is. And who knows what other benefits we'll discover as research continues.
It's like a whole new frontier of understanding.
Exactly.
Well, I, for one, am excited to see what the future holds for our understanding of physical fitness and all its amazing benefits.
You too.
It's such a powerful tool for improving our lives.
No doubt about it.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to emphasize one last thing for our listeners.
Okay, what's that?
It's not about trying to be perfect or pushing yourself to extremes.
Oh, no, definitely not.
It's about finding what works for you and making it a sustainable part of your life.
Find what you enjoy, right?
Exactly. And celebrate those small victories along the way.
Every step counts.
It really does. So thanks for joining us on this incredible journey into the world of physical fitness.
It was a blast.
We hope you learned something new and feel inspired to move your body and embrace all the amazing things it can do.
And remember, keep those questions coming.
We love to explore with you.
That's what makes it fun.
Absolutely. So until next time, stay curious, stay active, and keep exploring the power of movement.
See you next time.
Bye, everyone.